Good evening and welcome to Etown News. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Will Veith. A Diwali celebration, the Mad Cow charity show, and more coming up right after this.
This past Friday marked the start of Vember. From November 1st to November 27th, you can track the number of meters you row on a rowing machine. You can use the rowing equipment provided in the Bauer Center, other fitness centers, or a gym at home. Participants must log hours and take a picture of the screen for validity. At the end of the month, all submissions will be tallied up, and the student with the most meters rowed will win a foldable rowing machine for their home. If you're interested, you can register by emailing recwell@etown.edu.
Last Wednesday, from 7 to 9 p.m., the college celebrated Diwali in the Leffler Chapel. ECTV's Phillip has more on this celebration.
The conch shell's horn signifies the start of the Hindu celebration of light, Diwali. Doctors Jeffrey Long and Matow Improv invited Elizabethtown College students to join them for this year's Diwali traditions. The M&M Mars room was decorated with candles on all tables, a traditional Diwali altar, and a statue of the goddess Lakshmi, known as a Murti. Dr. Long starts the celebration by educating those in attendance about the history and importance of the holiday.
This celebration is very meaningful for me as part of my wife's family tradition. And so we're one of the beautiful things we get to do is share it with people here in the Etown community who otherwise probably would know little or nothing about it.
Afterwards, a traditional Hindu ritual known as the puja began, starting with a prayer from Dr. Bhattacharya. Once the prayer was finished, a form of worship known as the arti began, involving raising an oil lamp above the murti while playing a traditional Hindu song. A last prayer was then made, with everyone in attendance being invited to join in prayer.
Whatever challenges we might be facing, we can just leave it to the higher powers and not worry about it too much.
Diwali celebrates the victory of good over evil and worships Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. Diwali is a holiday celebrated all across the world by people of different cultures and beliefs, including Sikh, Hindu, and Buddhists.
Trinidad and Tobago is actually celebrating Diwali also, and it's like Caribbean country. I'm from the Caribbean, and I did not know that certain Caribbean countries did celebrate Diwali. Yeah.
For America, Diwali became an officially recognized holiday in 2007. Then, in 2014, President Obama was the first president to celebrate and wish everyone a happy Diwali. In Elizabethtown, Phillip wetown.org.
On Tuesday, October 28th, the bookstore held their Night of Frights event. From 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., students could visit the bookstore to enter a costume contest, watch a performance by Emotion, and take advantage of a store-wide discount and purchase some college merchandise. In addition to all of this, the college store also released a new Halloween shirt design, which is now available for purchase. You can find more information on what's available and open hours by visiting the link provided below.
Matow Improv's October charity benefit show took place last Friday, November 2nd, in Gibble Auditorium. Admission was free, but donations were taken at the door for the Joe Russo Memorial Scholarship Fund. The improv group took the stage along with guests from Etown Theater and Vocaline to put on a wildly entertaining show. The audience was encouraged to dress up, and many arrived in costume. Throughout the night, Mad Cow encouraged audience involvement by playing games like Scenes from a Hat and taking suggestions for their characters and plots. The audience was engaged and eager to participate. The show was a success, raising over $230 for the Joe Russo Memorial Scholarship Fund.
This past Saturday, Etown Democrats hosted a karaoke night at the college. ECTV's Adam Delapassi has the story.
The Elizabethtown College Democrats hosted their costume karaoke night last Saturday in the J Lounge. With a modest $3 entry fee, students came together to unwind, socialize with friends, show off their costumes, and showcase their singing talents on an extensive playlist with a multitude of song choices. Snacks were provided, and pizza was ordered from a local pizzeria. All the proceeds raised from the event went directly to a charitable organization.
So we are supporting Smiles for Abby. It's a nonprofit located near Elizabethtown. It was founded in honor of an Etown alum who passed away of leukemia.
With Halloween still fresh on people's minds, many Blue Jays took the opportunity to showcase their creative side by dressing up in a variety of iconic costumes. Among the spirited characters donned were Ghostface, Winnie the Pooh, pirates, and witches. In the midst of the singing, the event also helped promote civic engagement among young adults, reminding them of the importance of exercising their right
The thing
to
to know
vote.
about voting is that even if your preferred candidate loses, it's very, very important for you to have voted, because if more people who oppose a candidate still vote for that candidate's opponent, his or her margin of victory becomes narrower.
The night was filled with laughter and camaraderie, and relieved stress for the upcoming election and the looming finals. From Elizabethtown College, Adam Delapazzi, ECTV 40.
On Saturday, November 2nd at 9 p.m., Etown welcomed Shailesh the Hypnotist to the Cav, an event hosted by OSA throughout the night. Shailesh entertained the audience and left them in awe with a jaw-dropping performance as he hypnotized students who eagerly came up on the stage. It was truly an experience that the attendees will never forget. To make sure you don't miss any more events like this, follow OSA on Instagram at EtownOSA, where you can find all the latest updates on their upcoming events. Now, here's Gwen Young with our weekly sports updates.
Thanks, Will. The wrestling team kicked off the weekend for our Blue Jay Athletics this past Saturday with their season opener. The team traveled to Grantham, Pennsylvania for the Messiah Invitational at 9 a.m. There, the team took 4th out of 9 competing teams in the event, and 3 Blue Jays won their weight class. At 133, senior Corey Cope dominated, winning all 4 of his matches. In the 174 weight class, it was junior Gannon Smith taking the top spot, also going undefeated on the day. Senior Will Davis was the other Blue Jay to win his weight class. Like the others, he'd also take wins in all 4 of his matches in the 197 class. Coming up next, Etown will take on Shippensburg University tonight at home at 6 p.m. The women's cross-country team raced in the Landmark Conference Championship on Saturday, and the team did not disappoint. As the Blue Jays took 4th place, 5th-year Kelty Oster earned conference first-team honors with her 3rd-place finish. Sophomore Keely Fitzgerald received second-team honors after finishing in 13th. Junior Gwen Young and senior Maureen Bosack were named honorable mentions as they finished 16th and 17th respectively. Junior Isabel Anderson finished in 32nd. The men's cross-country team also performed well in the Landmark Conference Championships, netting a 2nd-place finish out of the 9 teams. 3 Blue Jays earned conference second-team honors. Of that group, sophomore Will English led the way with a 9th-place finish, senior Daniel Myers finished in 11th, and sophomore Derek Kendig followed close behind in 13th. Senior Nolan Pettit was an honorable mention after crossing the line in 15th, and junior Ben Ortiz rounded out the day for the Jays in 21st. The teams will now train for the Mid-Atlantic Regionals taking place on Saturday, November 16th at 12 p.m. in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. The women's volleyball team split their final doubleheader of the season on Saturday. They started the day with a strong win against Misericordia University, 3-2. After losing the first set, the Jays won the next 2 sets to take a 2-1 lead. Misericordia would force a 5th set, but Etown would hold on for the win, taking the final set 15-13. Their second game of the day was much different, as they'd lose 3-0 against Franklin and Marshall College. The Blue Jays struggled to find much success, as Franklin and Marshall would run away with this one. The Jays now sit at 16-11 with 2 games left in the season. They'll play William Patterson University this Friday at 7 p.m. in Wayne, New Jersey. The women's soccer team lost their final game of the season against Lycoming College 1-0 on Saturday. Lycoming took the lead early in the 3rd minute, and they held on from there. Etown had their chances with 7 shots on goal, but Lycoming's goalkeeper saved each one to preserve the lead. With this outcome, the Blue Jays headed into the postseason as the 3rd seed and opened up postseason play against Moravian University on Tuesday. The men's soccer team had a similar outcome on Saturday, as they'd also lose 1-0 against Lycoming. After a scoreless first half, Lycoming scored early in the second half. The Blue Jays would unleash a number of shots on Lycoming's net in an attempt to tie things up, but they wouldn't score. The men's team also opened up postseason play against Moravian University as the 6th seed. In NFL action, Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young earned his first win of the 2024 season as they beat the New Orleans Saints 23-22. The Panthers came up clutch time and time again, sealing the win with one final stop late in the 4th quarter. The Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins battled in what was likely the game of the week. It was a back-and-forth, high-scoring matchup with the Bills coming out on top 30-27. With 10 seconds to go, struggling Bills kicker Tyler Bass booted a 61-yard field goal through the uprights to give their Bills the 7th win of the season. The Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks also had a close divisional matchup, which saw the Rams win 26-20 in overtime.
The Rams picked off Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith 3 times, and in overtime, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford found wide receiver Demarcus Robinson in the end zone for a 39-yard touchdown pass for the winning score. That's all for your sports updates. Now here's Phillip Patches with your weekly weather forecast.
Thanks, Gwen. Welcome to the weekly weather watch, where we cover the weather once a week, rain or shine. I'm your host, Phillip Patches. So today, the 6th, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 77 and a low of 55. And it's still going to be cloudy on Thursday with a high of 65 and a low of 42. On Friday, it will mostly be sunny with a high of 64 and a low of 43. There's still going to be some clouds on Saturday, but and we'll have a high of 62 and a low of 42. On Sunday, it will be rainy with a high of 61 and a low of 48. Still going to be rainy over here on Monday, and we'll have a high of 65 and a low of 43. The rain's going to be gone on Tuesday, and we'll see a high of 65 and a low of 42. Thanks for tuning into the Weekly Weather Watch. I'm Phillip Patches. See you next week, and back to Ella and Will in the studio.
In pop culture news, Barbie and Suicide Squad star Margot Robbie welcomes her first child, a son, with her husband, Tom Ackerley. Robbie and Ackerley met on the set of Sweet Franchise. The Grammys, which were aired on CBS for 50 years, are officially moving over to Disney in a 10-year deal. The deal will start in 2027 and run until 2036. CBS struck a record-breaking deal with the Grammys in 2016 for the rights of the award show until 2026, but now their partnership comes to an end. Pennywise is making a comeback. A prequel series about the clown is expected to be released in 2025. Bill Skarsgård will reprise his role as Pennywise in Welcome to Derry. Warner Brothers has been developing a movie adaptation for Game of Thrones. The project is in early development with no cast or crew announced yet. This film is a project that will be long awaited by fans who were unsatisfied with the series' final season.
The presidential election is approaching quickly, and so far, the polls for the Democratic and Republican candidates are extremely close. In Pennsylvania, Donald Trump is currently leading the polls by a mere 0.1%, which could potentially change within the next few days. On October 28th, ballot boxes were set on fire in Oregon and Washington state. As of yet, there are no suspects. Celebrities have used their online platforms to voice their political opinions and to encourage their followers to vote. Singers such as Beyoncé and Taylor Swift are supporting Kamala Harris, and movie stars such as Chris Pratt and Caitlyn Jenner are supporting Trump.
That's all for this week, Jays. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all the latest updates on our shows. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Will Veith. Have a great week, and remember to
Take flight, Etown.